Hello everybody, my name is Kazu. Nice to meet you. This is part of my 300. This is part of my 300. 300. This is part of my 365-day daily challenge, speaking English for 30 minutes straight using TOEFL stack questions. No script, just spontaneous answers, just like the real exam. Let's get started. So yesterday, yesterday I finished this while I was correcting I was correcting my English. So let's see the correction. Okay, so on the first day of the conference, there was a moment when everyone had to introduce themselves. By the way, today is day 226. 226. 226. So on the first day of the conference, there was a moment when everyone had to introduce themselves. But I was honestly ashamed of my educational background. I felt that because I felt that way because I didn't graduate on time, and I repeated a few years. I didn't graduate from my university on time, and I repeated a few years. I mean, I quit the university, and eventually I just dropped out. I dropped out. The other students at the conference were basically on a straight path. The other students at the conference were basically on a straight path. They were all really smart and serious. As far as I could tell, none of them had repeated a year in university. Like, the reason why I repeated a few years in my university was like I was just lazy. I didn't study enough, so I just dropped some grades. I felt like I was the only. I dropped some subjects, so I felt like I was the only one with a non-standard background. I felt like I was. At this time, the voice input system did really work well. Like, this transcribed what I said really correctly. So I didn't want to review my real educational background. I just said I went to the university, and then I gave a vague, vague explanation. I gave a vague explanation. I just gave a vague expression. I said sometimes. I left halfway through, but I'm planning to re-enroll. Re-enroll. I guess they were confused, and I felt like their looks said, huh? After a few days, we had another day in Tokyo. So on the fourth day of this conference, on the fourth day of this conference, so we visited Tokyo for the conference. So on that day, some new students from Tokyo joined the conference. Some new students. You know, some people joined this conference from the beginning, but some people joined this conference from the middle. So since new students joined, we had to introduce ourselves again. At that point, I thought I should be honest. So I shared at that point, I don't know why, but I thought I should explain my true educational background, my true, career. Like I quit. I quit the university. I quit my university halfway through, something like that, to become a comedian. But I was ashamed. I mean, still I'm ashamed of that part. Like I think I was really stupid, and then I didn't accomplish that goal too. So it's hopeless. But yeah, it's just But at least I have to be honest to everyone and to myself. That's why suddenly I thought I should I should say my true background, my true history, track record. I didn't mention that I had taken extra years. I thought I should be honest. So I shared my real background. I said I didn't graduate from my university, and I repeated a few years. I didn't say that, actually. I couldn't say that thing, the thing I repeated a few years. I didn't mention that I had taken extra years. I had taken extra years. I had taken extra years. I didn't say I had repeated a few years because I was still ashamed. Yeah, I didn't say that because I didn't say I had repeated a few years because I was still really ashamed. But I did say I dropped out. But I did say I dropped out to try to become a comedian. I dropped out. I dropped out my university to try to become a comedian, and I moved to Osaka. Then I said I quit. I quit the comedian way halfway through, and I said I stayed in Osaka uh, 2 more years to for nothing, just without purpose. So I worked for dining bar, which was really famous in Osaka, and it's really funny place, happy place. If you like drinking alcohol, you should go. You should go to that bar. It's called Down, DOWN. It's a very nice bar, a dining bar. So you can go there with your family or just so more than two people. Anyway, yeah, I did say I dropped out to try to become a comedian and I moved to Osaka. But I gave up on that. Gave up on that because I realized I didn't really have a sense of humor. Then I started working at my dad's company. After I stayed in Osaka in total for 3 years. In total for 3 years. So after that, I started working at my dad's company, and I realized how important studying was. That's when I decided to re-enroll. I told them I was planning to re-enroll in my university. Yeah, I told them. I told the other students I was planning to re-enroll in my university in this April. From this April, I said that I felt really good afterward. Yeah, actually, I felt really good when I said my true background. Since I was ashamed of my background, like I felt like I wasn't accepted from everyone, but the true thing was I rejected everyone. Like everyone was ready to accept true myself, but it was me who rejected everyone. I mean, maybe some people, maybe some people make fun of me. I think it's okay. It's it depends on the person. But the first, you have to be honest to yourself. So I didn't accept myself. I didn't accept my history. I didn't accept what I have done. But the true thing is, you can't change the past. So you can't change what you've done. So there is only way. That was the only way. Just accept or welcome, just welcome yourself. That's why I felt really good when I said the true things. I was a little bit happier than before at that time. Afterward, yes, I felt really good afterward. I felt really good afterward. Everyone laughed. I mean, laughed means, like when I said I went to Osaka to try to become a comedian, people laughed. Everyone laughed. But, that laughing was not bad. I know it wasn't, bad. Laughing, like not making fun of me, just just because it is not usual. It's unusual. So anyway, maybe some people laughed because they made fun of me, but it's okay. I don't care. Yeah. So yeah, I guess my story stood out. So I guess my story stood out. That's why people laughed. Stood out. So people are people. Humans are human. People are people. People are people. You are you and I am me. Me and me. You are you and I am me. You are you and I am me. So don't hesitate to be yourself. Just let it out. Don't let it be, don't let it out. Just let it out. Okay, it's already been 18 minutes. Actually, I wanna review. Muscle soreness. Muscle pain. Yeah, yesterday I had a muscle pain. Yesterday I had a muscle pain in my both arms. How can I say that? Anyway, so until last Saturday, I participated in the conference for Japanese and Taiwanese students. Until last Saturday, I cannot use present perfect tense. I was at the conference until last Saturday. I participated in the conference for Japanese and Taiwanese students until last Saturday. I've been slacking off on this challenge. So actually, I had chances to speak English naturally because there were some students who couldn't speak Japanese, but I had been slacking off on this challenge, so my English wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be. So my English wasn't as strong as I expected. I expected it taken as long as I wanted it to be. My English wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be. But doing this regularly is really, I realized doing this challenge regularly is really important. I confirmed, I reconfirmed that doing this challenge regularly is very important, really important. Yeah, by the way, during the conference, it took a toll on my mental health. During the conference, it took a toll on my mental health because, I compared between me and the students. Like I was already, 30 years old. I wasn't even a student. I'm a working adult now. But my knowledge, I didn't have much knowledge, and I couldn't speak English fluently. My English wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be. So it took a toll on my mental health. Yeah, I didn't have much knowledge. I didn't have much knowledge for discussing, serious problems because I haven't studied very hard. So that is why, because I haven't studied very hard, the reason why is I went to a well-known integrated school. I went to a well-known integrated school in Japan, starting from elementary school. I went to a well-known integrated school in Japan, starting from elementary school. So I just did a usual studying, to pass each grade, each year. But most students, especially people who enrolled good universities, they usually study hard to get into the university. they want, but I didn't because there's no exam to get into my university. So I don't have a solid foundation of basic knowledge. I don't have a solid foundation of common sense, common sense, not common sense, not common studying. Anyway, when it comes to studying, okay, I don't have a solid foundation when it comes to studying. I don't have a solid foundation when it comes to studying. So I still lack basic knowledge. I still lack of basic knowledge about like Japanese history, especially Japanese history. I really want to study Japanese history because I am Japanese. I needed to know my own country's history, because history leads now. So if you want to understand what is happening right now, maybe you should learn what it was happened. Anyway, I was very happy during the conference. I wasn't very happy during the conference, but there was one thing I was really happy about. I wasn't very happy during the conference, but there was one thing I was really happy about. Okay, that was yesterday. Yesterday's what I said. So let's correct what I said earlier. Yesterday I finished this while I was correcting my English. Yesterday I finished this while I was correcting my English. I was correcting my English. So let's get to the... On the first day on the conference, there was a moment when everyone had to introduce themselves. By the way, today is day 226 of my 365-day challenge. So on the first day, everyone had to introduce themselves. To be honest, I was ashamed of my educational background. So I didn't introduce... I didn't explain I didn't explain the details of my educational background. Like, I dropped out my university because I tried to become a comedian. So I ignored that part. So anyway, I felt that way because I didn't graduate on time and it took a few extra years. The feeling stayed. I spent a few extra years, then I dropped out, which I just dropped out. The other students at the conference were basically on a straight path. They seemed to have a very... Sorry, I picked my nose. Sorry, they seemed to have a very straightforward path. They all seemed really smart and serious, as far as I could tell. None of them had taken extra years in university. The reason I took extra years was that I was just lazy and I didn't study enough. I ended up dropping out. So I ended up dropping out. That's why I felt like I was the only one who had dropped out. I felt like I was the only one with a non-standard background, and it hit me. I felt like I was the only one with a non-standard background, and it hit me. I didn't want to reveal my real educational background. I just said I went to that university and gave a vague explanation. I kind of brushed it off and moved on. A lot happened during that time. We spent a few on the days. People joined from the beginning and that's true. So when they joined in, we introduced ourselves again. Anyway, thank you so much.